Alright, so here we are with our Friday routine here of the second week for the body bulk, which is the stimulation week. So for this one, it's one of the longer routines, so we'll take quite a bit of time in the gym. It's a little bit time consuming here, but we have the same principle again with your warm-up sets. At first, your 1, 2, and 3 working sets and your failure set. Starting off with pull-ups though, because it's a pull routine, so you're using mainly your back, biceps, and rear delts here. And also, actually this one we're doing the whole shoulder technically. We have your pull-ups, which we do 50 reps in total. So you have your 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 in total. So 5 sets of 10, making it 50. We just do your 1 second cadence here. So your rep isn't gonna be super slow like your 5 second reps for the rest of them. These here, you just do them, your regular pull-up. If you can't do pull-ups of your own body weight, just use one of the machines, like an assisted pull-up that can take a little bit of weight off your own body weight to help you lift yourself up. Or even just go on maybe a lat pull down on the cable, do like a wide grip on that. But I like to do the pull-ups because I find it's a perfect angle and just you get a better simulation out of it, I find, naturally by doing a pull-up versus using the machines or the cable lat pull down. So we do your 50 reps. You'll see me doing this here. I'm just going to cut it short just to get the point across. I do 10 reps per set, so I do 5 sets of these 10 reps, nice and quick. Get through that, you get a great pump out of that. Starting off this routine, your testosterone is going to boost through the roof. It's a great compound movement as well, but that's just at the beginning. You do less compound movements throughout this one here because they're more isolating movements for stimulation. So we move on after you do your 50 pull-ups. Now you do your dumbbell shrugs. So here I start off with the lighter weights just to do a warm-up set, 12 to 15 reps. Then I do 3 working sets of a heavy enough weight. I think I might fail around 5 reps. So I do 5 reps like that, where I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the way up with the shrugs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the way down where I'm resting. I do 3 sets like that, and then a failure set with roughly the same weight, if not a little bit less, because I might be really fatigued by the end of it. And I fail roughly between 5 and 9 reps, low enough that it's still a good low rep pump. Now you have after your dumbbell shrugs, you move on to your side deltoid raise. So side delts, I like to use the dumbbells here. You could use a cable machine, but this one here we've been mostly using on the stimulation week is dumbbells. So with here we go dumbbells on the raise for the side delt. So see me in the video, I warm up with a lighter weight, 12 to 15 reps. I do 3 working sets, nice and slow. These are difficult to do. You might want to go a little bit lighter than you're expecting, just because the deltoids are a smaller muscle group. They're not like your chest and back where you can handle a lot of weight pushing and pulling. This here in this movement, you can only do so much weight, especially when you're slowing it down. This one's extremely taxing on the muscle. So you'll notice, obviously, when you try it out. So when you're counting to 5 on the way up, the side deltoid, you're going to raise it up. Then on the way down 5 seconds, you can use probably, if you're strong enough in the delts, say you use normally on average roughly 30 to 40. When you do just your typical side deltoid raise, you're probably going to end up using 20 to 25 pounds here because you're really slowing it down. So I do my 3 working sets, counting to 5, then a failure set after that. And then I move on to the front deltoid raise. Same movement, just towards the front delt. So you're going to lift it towards the front. So I do another warm-up set like this, going in the front instead. And then I start doing my working sets, raising the front with a lighter weight as well that I'm expecting just to count to 5 because it's quite taxing on that muscle group. And then after my 3rd working set, I'll do a failure set of that. Then you move on to your dumbbell row. This might be a little bit confusing. I have 2 different rows here. So we have your dumbbell row and then your dumbbell bent over row. The dumbbell row is when I'm usually just leaning a slight bit to hit more of the rear delt versus the mid back or the lats. So you'll see me in the video here. I'm doing a warm-up set, roughly 12 to 15 reps. And then my working sets, 1, 2, and 3 are the 5 second cadence. So I take a 5 second rep for those. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm only a little bit bent over just to hit the rear delts. And when I pull it back, my elbow, it's actually more with my elbow I'm pulling, less with the shoulder and the delts. Or sorry, pulling with my elbow. This really focus on pulling your elbow backwards. So we have your delts in motion here, a little bit of the upper back as well when you're leaning slight bit like I am here, which is not as flat of an angle like the bent over row. So when we have done your third working set, you then move on to your failure set. So with the failure set here, again, I do roughly the same way, if not a little bit less, and I just get that failure set out 5 to 9 reps there. We then move on to our bent over row on the flat bench. So we're doing a completely horizontal angle here, hitting more of the mid back and the lats instead of the upper back and your rear delts. So you're really getting the whole back and the delts and the shoulder in this workout here. So we get your flat bench dumbbell, so it's your dumbbell bent over row here. We have your warm-up set, so 12 to 15 reps of that. Then you move on to your 3 working sets of 5-second cadence. So you're doing your 5-second reps there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pulling to your side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, letting it sit in front of you. So at resting point, you're just dropping the dumbbell down nearly to the floor. So after that, you do your failure set, get that last set in there to fail. And then you move on to your barbell curls. So barbell curls, I have usually a flat barbell here, not an easy curl or anything, so it's just a straight barbell with the bicep curls. So we have a warm-up set here. I go light enough just to get that blood flow and the pump going again, and then I do 3 working sets. So with that in mind, I really focus when I'm getting the bicep curl in there, is I'm just trying to get it above 90 degrees when I'm flexing it. So when I get that tension all the way at the top, I'm not letting the weight just sit on my arms too much, where it's just easy, there's no more tension anymore. I'm just going up until the tension is just about to leave, and then I drop it back down nice and slow. So you get a working set in there, so you do 5 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you do 3 sets like that, and then a failure set. So on a failure set, I'm doing roughly 3 seconds instead of the 5 seconds, just to get that good heavy pump in there. So after the bicep curls, you're gonna move on to your core, which is the same core crunches like every routine that we finish off with. So we have your 3 working sets that are supersets. I do roughly 60 reps per set. So I do my V crunches on the bench, do roughly 60 of that, or at least until failure. You go until failure. If you can't do 40 or 50 or 60, just go until failure at a quick enough pace like I am in the video here, and then you superset that with the back extension. So I do my 3 working sets, which are the supersets. So I do 1 set of the core crunch on the V crunch on the bench, supersetting with the back extension. That's 1 set. Then I do it again. So V crunches again, back extensions, and then 30 working set here is the V crunches again and the back extensions, making a total of 6 sets. You just worked your core completely there, and you should be burning like crazy. It should be hard to, it should be uncomfortable to sit in your vehicle or sitting after this workout. It's just not fun because your core is just in so much pain. If you don't want that pain afterwards, I usually recommend walking on a treadmill or just walk around. If you walk home from the gym, that's great. It'll be easier that way, but maybe walk just roughly 10-15 minutes to get that burn off, because if you sit down right after this, naturally your core is still tensing up when you're sitting like that. I notice when I'm driving, the next 10 minutes I'm in pain when I get home. So just take a little break after that, just cool down a bit. Anyway, so that would wrap up the second week. So we had our Monday's routine with the legs, we had our Wednesday being our push, and then our pull on this Friday, completing the stimulation week for our body bulk of our Maintenance Physique Regimen. Now, next week we're moving on to the tension, which will be using different machines and pulley systems to put your muscles through a different type of stress and just attack it at a different angle. So that way your body doesn't build a tolerance to the routine, and we just keep switching it up like that. Again, starting off next week, we go with a Monday routine being legs. The leg routine doesn't change for the first 3 weeks of this program until the 4th week on the aesthetic beatdown, which we're adding in 2 more exercises. So basically it's the same routine, but we're just adding in a couple more, and you switch it up a little bit just so that your body doesn't build a tolerance to it. So yeah, so that wraps that up, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again for checking this out.